I'm Polly King. I am a second year MFA candidate in the sculpture area. I am primarily an installation artist, which means I work site specifically, so I often find the site first and then think about a work that could engage in some way.
I'm Karen Oberhauser. I'm the director of the Arboretum at the UW-Madison. Right now we're in Longenecker Gardens, which is an approximately 35-acre garden that's part of the Arboretum, and it's our living collection. It's really what makes the Arboretum an arboretum. So we have a lot of people coming here, a lot in the fall and the spring when it's particularly beautiful, but people come here all year round. There have been students exhibiting their art in the collection for a long time. I'm not sure exactly when it started, but I really grew that connection. I connected with different professors in the sculpture department who came out here with their classes and with individual students making temporary sculptures that last a day or two with leaves and other found materials. And then we started having students put up more long-term sculptures.
Working with the Arboretum has been really amazing. I have been blown away by how open they have been to having us install pieces here, but also how participatory they wanted to be. Karen was really helpful in the iterative process at the beginning to help us figure out what the show was going to be. They also were able to make signs for us, so we sent them all the descriptions of the pieces. They were able to print them out, have them on display so that the general public could see what we were doing and kind of understand a little bit more about the backstory.
It's been a lot of fun for me to engage with the whole process of the sculptures. So they submit a proposal to us so that we think about the appropriateness of the sculpture for the Arboretum, if it really does help us fulfill our mission, or if people could damage the sculpture. So we think a lot about the ability of the sculpture to withstand the elements and all of the visitors.
Working outdoors is very different than working inside. There's a lot of complicating factors, weather, human interaction, animal interaction. Scale is a really big issue. When you first put a piece outside, it looks really tiny compared to working on it in your studio. I think working in a public sphere, particularly in a natural environment where people are already ready and primed to experience something outside of themselves, is a way to engage populations that otherwise might not be engaging with art.
The Arboretum really has a threefold mission. And probably the part of our mission that these sculptures most clearly do is to promote the land ethic. Our goal is always to make them sort of take note and to notice their surroundings, to build connections with their surroundings.
I am really interested in people being able to think a little bit more deeper about their surroundings, how they're experiencing the world, how they're experiencing day-to-day life. We're thinking about other things that we need to be doing, things that we wish we were doing. And I think nature does a really good job of bringing us back to that moment. I first was inspired to make reflective surfaces in a natural environment because of puddles. And so that was kind of the initial spark for this idea, was thinking about reframing the way we're experiencing our natural environment and then making you kind of reconsider your own experience.
I love the exhibit that's here right now with the mirrors that kind of questions our interactions with the natural world, if we're looking up or we're looking down, what angle we're looking at something. So I've really thought a lot about that sculpture and how people interact both with the sculpture and with the natural world.
It has been so rewarding to see all the people come through. I sat on the bench next to the piece the other day and just watched people walk through, and there's a little boy walking around who said, "Wow, this is so beautiful." And that was such a meaningful moment to see that my work had in some way inspired or impacted the next generation, maybe, of artists. Another really cool community aspect of this piece has been seeing the change over time. There has been a somewhat dirt path that has kind of formed where the grass has died, where people have walked around the piece. It's really cool to think about that there were so many people circulating this piece that it then kind of had an impact on the environment itself. So that was really fun to see.
That's perfect. Yeah.
Cool.